thank you, and welcome everybody to Tina's Joyful Kitchen. Yes, that's what I call my kitchen, Tina's Joyful Kitchen. So let me introduce myself real quick, and then I'm going to tell you what we're going to be making today. My name is Tina McDermott. I call myself the Lazy Inspirational Chef. I'm a speaker and I'm a weight loss coach. This is my love. This is my passion to be right here, right now, teaching you and hopefully the world how you can live a life that's full of health, full of vibrancy, and free from dis-ease, free from capital D, capital I, capital E with a small t, free from all of those things to help you find joy in the kitchen, even if you don't know or like to cook. I know, long introduction. I can go on and on, of course. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. Let me tell you, I just love who I am, where I am, and everything else. Oh, we got Jersey. I'm a Jersey girl too. That's right, Danielle. I was at what was that, Ocean Beach near Ortley. Last week. I was thinking about you. That's awesome. So let me tell you what we're going to make today. But before we go there, we have an Austin, Texas. We've got a Denver. We got a ginger margarita. Now you got my attention. You got my attention with the ginger margarita. So I want to tell you something. I've done a lot of research, and one of the things that really struck me is because, I multitask. A lot of us, we multitask. That's what we do. We've been multitasking forever. It's kind of fun sometimes. But the truth is, and there's science to back this up, is that when we multitask, we literally experience less joy. And I'm all about joy. So I have a favor to ask. Grab your phones, put them on silent, close out of all of those browsers, and be with me 100% so that you can experience so much joy and get so much out of today's session. So if you're ready to experience joy with me today, type I'm in the chat. Go ahead and type I'm in the chat if you are ready to experience a ton of fun and a ton of joy with me. Go ahead and type I'm in that chat box. Let me see, how many people do we have in here? We've got 18 people. I need at least half of you to be in. Otherwise, I'm out of here. All right, we've got a lot of I'm ins. Okay, I'm in. I've got from Aaron. All right, that's my nephew's name, Aaron. Good. Barb says she's in. Sharon's in. Neil is in. All right. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So let me tell you what we're going to make today. I like fast food in my refrigerator, and I'm not talking a drive-through. I'm talking food that I've created simply, quickly, and it's in my fridge. So when I'm hungry, I can go there, grab it, and eat. And that's what today is going to be all about. Fast food in your refrigerator. If you guys are excited about fast food in your refrigerator, put FF in that chat. FF for fast food in that chat box. I love the interaction because I don't get to see your gorgeous faces, but I get to feel your energy and I get to see you when you're in that chat box. So I so love you and appreciate you for that. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the energy. What are we making today? Fast food. I am going to make salads in a jar. I work from home and I still love to have salads in a jar. When I don't have my salads prepared, I don't feel like taking everything out and making a salad. But when I have them ready, take it out of the fridge and eat it with a fork. I'll show you how to make that. Next, we're going to make soups in a jar. Yes, soups in a jar. Just like cup of noodles or those instant noodles that you buy that are full of terrible things for you. I'm going to teach you how to make them so simple that you will have them ready in your refrigerator for the entire week. So we're going to make breakfasts and lunches and dinners and everything. Okay, that's all fast food. And finally, we're going to make a parfait. Parfaits are great for breakfast. They can substitute for lunches if you're on the run. And you got home late, you don't feel like having a big dinner. Why not have a parfait? Why not? It's fast food. It's in a jar. It's in your refrigerator. So we're going to talk all about parfaits. All right, you guys ready to rock and roll? Put rock and roll in that chat if you guys are ready to rock and roll with me. Grab and go. FF, grab and go. Great job. Great job. Rock and roll. All right. So I love interaction. I love when y'all are with me and you're chatting with me and all of that. Let's start with salads in a jar. Okay. Start with salads in a jar. Who likes soggy salads? Who likes soggy salads? When you dress your salad, say in the morning before you go to work, it gets soggy by the time you get to eat it. When you make salads in a jar, you don't, yeah, oh no, somebody says, you like nice, negative. Nope, you don't like soggy salads. So this is what I recommend that you do. You get yourself a wide mouth mason jar, and you get these plastic lids. I don't like using the metal lids. They tend to rust. So I don't use those. So I'm going to make the dressing. Normally I make like 5 salads at a time, but I'm only going to make 3 because I made 3 earlier today, and that's enough. I already have my neighbors coming over to grab some food today. So we're going to do 3. And one of the jars, I'm going to make the salad dressing. So let me ask you this. Do you want to see me make Italian dressing, olive oil, vinegar, or a very healthy ranch? Put it in the chat. Would you like ranch or Italian? Ranch or Italian? Can't get the lids on. Yeah, you can get the lids on Amazon. I've seen, yeah, I don't like the metal ones. They rust and then you end up eating rust. No. You get the white ones do not seal, but now they just created black ones that have a seal. And so that if you do throw it in a bag and it goes sideways, it won't, pour oil all over your bag. Okay. So we have a lot of ranchers out there, a couple of Italians. Yeah, it's hands down, we're making some ranch dressing. Now, I'm going to make the Tina version of ranch. Remember, I call myself the lazy inspirational chef, right? Lazy because I like to take shortcuts. Inspirational because I want you to be inspired to use the flavors that you like, not necessarily what other people like, okay? Oh, what are the ingredients in ranch? Well, if you really like ranch, go look them up and use those ingredients. I'm looking at this. I don't normally use any kind of dressing other than the Italian dressing, but hey, that's okay. Let's have a treat. Let's do some ranch. I'm like, what do I want in my ranch dressing? First of all, ranch dressing is dairy based. So I'm going to start with some Greek yogurt. And I'm doing 3 jars, and it's about 2 tablespoons of dressing per jar. And I don't measure either because I'm a little on the lazy side. These are heaping large tablespoons. So that's about, let me just do a little bit more. That's about 2 tablespoons per jar. It's going to make a little bit of a mess, but you know what? Life is messy. Wash your hands. It's okay. So here we go. Put that over here. Now, if you want, because it's Greek yogurt, it's got a little bit more protein to it. If you want to thin that out, simple. All you do, a little bit of water. If you want to put milk in there, by all means, put some milk in there. It's all good. Because I'm Italian and I really like garlic, I'm going to put some fresh garlic, and I'm going to do my lazy way, and I'm going to use my garlic press. Who has a garlic press? Put garlic press in the chat box. Garlic press. Oh my gosh, who says you don't use mussels in the kitchen? There's a lot of muscle work here. All right, because I didn't peel the garlic ahead of time, but isn't that the beauty of a garlic press? You don't have to peel the darn garlic. There you go. So I put a little bit of garlic in there, fresh garlic. If you want to use garlic powder, go for it. But with today's day and age, let me ask you this. This is a good question. Who here wants to have a super duper strong immune system? Who here wants to have a super duper, not just super, but super duper strong immune system? Put immune system in. The very lazy way is to buy the garlic already cut up in the jar. We're going to talk about this, okay? We're going to talk about this. There's a reason why I don't go to take those kind of shortcuts, okay, when it comes to health, okay? When it comes to health, I don't take those kind of shortcuts. Sometimes I'll use the garlic powder, like if I'm doing rubs and things like that, spice mixes. But immune system is incredibly important, right? Your immune system is incredibly important, right? Yeah, a lot of people are telling me pre-cut garlic is nasty. See, I was going to go there. You see, all right. You want to boost your immune system. You want to have fresh garlic in your life on a normal basis. It doesn't have to be every single day, but find yourself some really good garlic and do it yourself. Garlic is super simple to use. You saw me do it within seconds. It would have taken me that long to get it out of the jar, out of the refrigerator, which it doesn't even, but when you buy it, you don't buy it on the in the refrigerator. The immune boosting properties are right here. As soon as it is degraded, cut, put into jars or powdered, zero. You're not getting any immune boosting properties. And uh-oh, I just spilled it all over my counter. The cats will get it. No, I'm teasing. I'm teasing. So you want some fresh garlic. Don't chintz on it. Do the extra tiny bit of work and do that. Okay. Next, because I'm Italian, even though it's ranch dressing, I'm going to use some mixed Italian seasoning in there. Some Italian seasoning, probably put a teaspoon and a half in there. It's in my recipe. So if you want to know the exact amount, go look at that recipe. And I really like dill. So I'm thinking ranch has a little bit of dill to it. And my sister, her husband does not like dill, can't go near it. And she loves it, just like me. I love dill. So if I make anything with dill, I share it with her and vice versa. And she goes, it's therapy. Sometimes she just buys fresh dill and smells it because she goes, it's therapy. I don't know. Anyhow, that's that. So let's put a little bit of salt in here. Put a little bit of salt. And oh, I want to back up 2 steps. I want to back up 2 steps here, okay? When you purchase spices, spice mixes, I want to make sure that when you look at the label, and on the label it says marjoram, thyme, basil, rosemary, savory, and oregano, period. There's no ambiguous words in there like spices, autolyzed yeast extract, natural flavors. All of those ambiguous words, all they mean are, let me do something real quick here. Okay. I know what I want to do. I'm sorry, give me a second. It's a shortcut for MSG, okay? It is a, my apologies, give me just a second here. Something got a little flubbed up with my computer screen, and I want to see the chat box and not videos. Okay. If you have your video on, you're welcome to, but you can turn it off if you want to as well. Okay. Chef in garlic zoom, garlic chopper and peeler set. Caitlin, take note of that. I want to learn about that. Okay, so let me get back on track. When you buy your spices, the spices should say exactly what the spice is. Oregano, period. Or oregano, thyme, basil, period. No ambiguous words like natural flavors, spices, autolyzed yeast extract. There's actually 78 names in total that, or more, that MSG could be hidden under. Does anybody know why MSG is so bad for us? Does anybody know why MSG is so bad for us? It's what's called an excitotoxin. An excitotoxin, what it does, it passes the blood-brain barrier. That barrier that is supposed to protect our brain from toxins and medicine, from certain medicines and stuff, toxins basically, right? It passes that barrier and it goes to the brain cells that are most susceptible and excites them so much that they die. Now, whose brains are most likely to be affected by MSG, by these excitotoxins? Does anybody have a clue? Does anybody have a clue whose brains are most susceptible? It's the young and the elderly. Okay, so you want to make sure that you don't have MSG in your spices. It's also in soups and stocks, bouillon, and what else? Lots of different things. Just be careful. Just look out for it. Okay, so I've got, it smells so good. It smells so good. Oh, in the sea salt, let's talk about, I put only a half a teaspoon of sea salt. I think I want to put some pepper in there too. Sea salt is very important. Yeah, the children's brains. Yep. Younger kids and grandparents. Sea salt is really important that you use it because it has 78 some minerals that are very important to your body. As a matter of fact, your body can't even uptake water unless it has those minerals. And our vegetables these days, even if they're organic, are devoid of those minerals. Yes, you see me freshly grinding black pepper. Why? Because the flavor is so much better from a fresh ground spice than the pepper that's already ground. An analogy I came up with earlier today was that it's the difference between freshly mashed potatoes and mashed potatoes instant from the box that you mix with water. Who gets that? If you get it, but get it in the chat. But get it in the chat if you really get it now, why freshly ground black pepper is just amazing for you. It's that instant mashed potato versus the fresh made mashed potatoes, right? Yeah, you get it. And if you don't already have a pepper grinder, if you learn one thing from me today, get a pepper grinder. Okay, we put our salt. I just did a little salt because you can always add it and you can't take it away. You cannot take it away. So let's get our jars ready for the dressing. I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons right on the bottom. And now, let me finish this real quick. One of the jars is going to have a little extra dressing. That'll be just a little extra yummy, yummy, yummy. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put vegetables in here, vegetables that can marinate, vegetables that can marinate. Now, I can give you recipes until, the cows come home. I don't know why people say that. But the bottom line is I want you to be inspired to use and eat what vegetables you like, that you want in your salad, that, you went to the farmer's market that day and you saw these beautiful carrots and you just had to have them. You saw these beautiful olives, you had to have them, the mushrooms, whatever it is that you're inspired to get, then that's what I want you to use in your salads. What do you like? What are your favorite vegetables that you would like to use that can marinate in your ranch dressing? Okay, anybody have any ideas what they would like to put in their ranch dressing? Anybody? Cucumber, carrots. Okay, good. We can do carrots. You know what? Let's do the carrots before I do the tomatoes. I love those tomatoes, but let's do the carrots. I like carrots too. So let's do, broccoli is good. Grape tomato. Yeah, we're going to do the grape tomatoes. Yep. Yep. Okay. So here we go. My carrots, I scrubbed them, but they still have some black spots. I don't normally peel my carrots, but these were some beautiful organic carrots, at least I thought. So I'm just going to get rid of some of those black spots. There we go. There we go. Give that back to Mother Nature. Does anybody know what I mean when I say I'm giving those food scraps back to Mother Nature? Who knows what I mean when I say I'm giving those food scraps back to Mother Nature? Anybody? Anybody know what I'm doing with those food scraps? Yep, compost. Yep, give it right back to Mother Nature because she will do with it what she needs to do with it. Yep, she'll do with it what she needs to do with it. And something I didn't tell you I was doing, I just kind of did it, and I'm going to show you on this next part of the carrot, is if something is round, I want you to make it flat. That's round, and you could potentially harm you. So you want to make it flat, and I'm going to cut it in half very carefully. Never look at the camera and cut at the same time. Excuse me. There we go. Okay, round things flat. A little black thing, get rid of that. And there we go. Who wants to learn about knife skills? I'm going to teach you about knife skills in just a moment if you want it. If you want to learn about how to hold a knife and how to chop, put knife skills in the chat. Meantime, I am going to just finish chopping this one and we'll talk a little bit about knife skills. They talk in culinary school. Mind you, I went to the school of Valia. That's my mom, off the boat Italian, not culinary school. I just want to be clear on that. Is they tell you consistency of cut, that everything should be cut the same way. And I'm like, ugh, whatever. I am too lazy for that. I don't have time for that. Okay, we got a couple of people who want to learn some knife skills. Good. Looks like a lot of you want to learn some knife skills. So let's talk about some knife skills. Okay. I am looking for, I guess I used up all my cucumbers. I only have 1 cucumber left. Okay, let's talk about knife skills. Number 1, who holds their knife like so? Don't answer, don't answer, don't answer. Many people do. I used to before I learned this, okay? So what I want you to do with 1 finger on top, look, my knife slips and it'll slip right out really easy, okay? I want 3 fingers around the handle, your index finger on the side of the blade, your thumb on the other side of the blade. And so you're gripping, you're holding it like so. So now the knife won't slip as easy. Do you get that? Okay, do you see that? Next thing I want you to learn is that a dull knife, who can finish the sentence? A dull knife is a A dull knife is anybody can finish that sentence? Anybody? I'll give you the enemy. You crack me up on that. Pain in the money. Okay. It's a dangerous knife. A dull knife is a dangerous knife. So I want you to make sure that you sharpen your knives at least twice a year. Okay. You can hone them with a honer, but that's not sharpening. You bring it to somebody who can sharpen it. My dad's a barber. He has a sharpener. He sharpens my knives twice a year and does a beautiful job at it. I know when my knife is getting dull, it's a little harder to chop. My hand hurts a little bit more. And I'm like, oh, goes in the drawer to go to dad. All right. So next thing, so you got that, the grip. Sharpen your knives. Your blade goes from here all the way to here. So why are we just using the middle of the knife? Why are we just using the middle of the knife? I want you to learn to use the whole knife when I'm just scoring my celery, because I'm going to put some celery in there too, because this is nice, beautiful, organic celery. By the way, I never want you to buy celery that's not organic, because celery sops up all the toxins in the soil. Okay. Never buy celery unless it's organic. So now we're going to use from tip. We're not going to use the entire thing, but you're not going to just chop straight down. You're going to get some elbow grease in there, use your bicep, use your shoulder muscles, and use the whole blade. Let's do a close-up on this on the cutting board here, Caitlin. Let's do a close-up and use it. And you see how I'm gripping my other fingers and I'm just kind of crawling them back. My fingers aren't exposed like so. They're gripped. Grip your fingers and use the whole knife. Not the entire knife, but use the knife. Use it. I mean, I'm not incredibly fast with my chopping, and I don't chop everything exactly the same size. You know what? I'm okay with that. Next thing with the knife, never pick up your food with the knife. A, it dulls the blade. Okay. So a lot of people want to pick it up like so. B, you could cut yourself so easily doing that. So I want you to get something that looks like this. It's a little scraper, and you can pick it up with the scraper, or just pick it up with your hands. And now distribute your celery evenly between your jars. Okay. So that's the short of the very long of some knife skills. I hope that you learned something. Okay. Did everybody learn something there about knife skills? Yes or yes? 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 Okay. My clients are like, Tina, yes or yes? Of course it's a yes. Of course. I just want you all to say yes. All right. I have one little baby cucumber. I love these baby cucumbers. Oftentimes when I did travel a lot for work, I would just throw them into a cooler, just like whole, because they're washed. You don't have to peel them, nothing. You can just chomp them up with a can of tuna fish, and away I went. So we're still marinating, right? We've got carrots, we've got celery, we've got cucumbers in there. And I found a jar of water chestnuts. I couldn't remember what their name. And I hadn't used them. Like, you know what? They're great for salads. So, and they can marinate beautifully, right? So I'm going to put some water chestnuts in here. You see, I'm not doing a traditional ranch salad. I'm doing whatever salad I want, what I'm inspired to make that day. Okay. Woohoo to inspiration, right? Woohoo to inspiration. Who here feels inspired to use whatever they want, not have to follow a recipe, right? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So now I'm going to put in some tomatoes. I have, my cherry tomatoes are done. And I have a friend who gave me some beautiful tomatoes from the farm. I didn't wash this one yet. I want you to know something. Never wash your vegetables unless you're ready to eat them. My grandma always taught me, and I'll tell you in Italian, si lava quando si usa, means you wash it right before you're about to use it. You wash it right before you're about to use it. I'm just going to roughly chop this one, throw it in because, yeah, I wanted tomatoes in all of them because I like tomatoes. Who likes tomatoes? Put tomatoes in the chat if you love tomatoes. Love tomatoes. Now, yes, I'm filling this up with stuff because I love it. I love olives. These are wonderful olives stuffed with garlic. More immune boosting with the garlic and the olives. Oops, that salad only got 2 olives. Oh, well. Oh, well. Oh, well. It'll be a little on the lonely side, and that's okay. So we've got all marinated stuff. Next, you're going to put your protein. Now, what is your favorite protein to have in your salad? Go ahead and type it in the chat. What is your favorite protein? Does that go with fruits as well in terms of wasting? Yes, absolutely. Wash them right before you're going to use them. Do not wash them and then set them out. It will attract more bacteria and it will go bad much, much, much quicker. You do not want that. All right. So proteins, we've got chicken. Yeah, I do pulled chicken from rotisserie chicken. Sometimes when I'm desperate, I'll do a canned chicken. I say when I'm desperate because the canned chicken has a lot of sodium to it. Pulled chicken. What else do we have? Salmon. Yep, I have canned salmon, or you can do fresh salmon, whatever you want. Beans. Yep. Look at, you guys are right on top. Look, beans. You could do beans. That could be your protein. I'm not going to do beans or salmon. You can do tuna fish, right? Where's my tuna fish? Here's my can of tuna fish. You can do tuna fish. Don't scoff. But I want to talk to you about something when it comes to protein and brain health. I've had Lyme disease, so my brain was very compromised, and I do everything that I can to avoid eating things that would compromise my brain anymore, and also eat things that can enhance my brain. And I want the same for you. Don't scoff it. I want you to try them. Sardines. Yes, sardines. Stop going yuck. You'll be fine. Find some sardines that just say olive oil, that don't have any ingredients in the package that you don't know exactly what it is, okay? Because you don't want rancid oils like soy oil or any of those things, okay? It should just say sardines, olive oil, salt, period, okay? Try them. They are full of omega-3 fatty acids for your brain. Salmon has great amino acids, but these have more. The sardines have a lot more, because the salmon's a much larger fish. The smaller fish have more omega-3s, okay? All right, adore sardines, sustainably caught ones at, oh, good for you. So, oh, look at that. Straight out of the can. I got a lot of sardine lovers. Oh my gosh, I love you guys. Great job. You guys, I always get people who scoff about sardines. They're so good, and they're so good for you. Today, however, for my protein, what I'm going to do are hard-boiled eggs. Now, I made these before, but I want to tell you how I made them. Super simple. Who here has an Instant Pot? If you have an Instant Pot, put IP in the chat. Put IP in the chat if you have an Instant Pot. If you have an Instant Pot, put IP in the chat. When I discovered how to make hard-boiled eggs in the Instant Pot and how easy it is, I got one immediately. And then I learned everything else about it, and then I got an 8-quart one as well, okay? For the Instant Pot, I put all my eggs in a silicone basket. You can get a wire basket as well that fits in here. Otherwise, it's hard to get the eggs out. 1 cup of water. I put all of the eggs in here. Put it in the Instant Pot, 5 minutes. And then you can let it sit for another 5 minutes, but then I do it right away. I just vent it right away. And then put them in ice water. That's what this was. This was my ice water. And immediately start to peel them. The peel comes right off. It is phenomenal. I love eggs in my salad. They're super simple. And I only had 4 eggs left because I ate 2 earlier. So 1 can is only going to have 1 egg. The others are going to have 1.5. But that's okay. It's all good. You're getting some protein from the yogurt anyway. So I'm not concerned about not having enough protein. The other thing you can do is you can add some nuts to have a little bit more protein in here. So now what is missing? What is missing here? Salad wise. Do we want onions in our salad? Who wants onions in the salad? Anybody want onions? Anybody want onions in the salad? Let's say onions in the salad. These are wonderful sweet Georgia onions that I found, that I went to the store and bought about 3 more packages of them. They are better than the Vidalia sweet onions. I think that I would eat this, not kind of like an apple, but it's that good that there's no pungency to them at all. They're phenomenal. I got them from Aldi's down the street. And my husband and I both had, a dinner salad last night, and I cut open an onion and I gave him half in his salad. We eat a whole big bowl of salads when we eat salads, huge. And I put the other half in mine. I said, "Do you want the whole half?" And he goes, "The whole half?" I said, "These are delicious. You've got to eat them. They're wonderful." Okay. So we're going to put a little bit of, let me chop them a little smaller to fit into my bowl or my jars here. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put a little bit of onions, a lot of vegetables, right? How many vegetables do you think that you need to be eating on a daily basis? Put it in the chat. How many vegetables do you think human beings need on a daily basis? Anybody know? Anybody know about how many cups of vegetables we need to have? Anybody? 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 Ah, Christina's right on the ball. 10 to 12 cups of vegetables. I normally floor people when I tell them that. 10 to 12 cups of vegetables is what you need, okay? And eating salads chock full of vegetables is one of the best ways to do it, okay? One of the best ways to do it. Also, I put lots of greens and stuff in my smoothies. So now I'm gonna stuff the top full of lettuce. By the way, did you see how I have these paper towels in here? I lined this with paper towels. It absorbs any moisture and keeps my lettuce a lot fresher. Even though we eat it within a few days, you want it to keep it nice and crisp. That is the best way to do it. So I'm just going to shove in the top as much greens as I possibly can. So how many cups of vegetables do you guess are in each of these jars? Can anybody guess about how many cups of vegetables are in each of these jars? Anybody? The jar is 4 cups. The jar itself is 4 cups. How many cups of these 4 cups are vegetables? Anybody know? Well, the jar itself is 4 cups, okay? There's at least 3 cups of vegetables in here, at least 3. Okay, and I'm just shoving the lettuce in at the top. Now, when it comes time to eat, you can you put the lid on, you shake it up. It's a little, I didn't make the dressing thin enough to just shake in the jar, but you can make it a lot thinner than I made it. Put a little more water in there, or use regular plain yogurt versus the Greek yogurt. I just so happen to have the Greek yogurt out. Shake it up and eat it with a fork right on the jar. Oftentimes what I do is since I'm home, I'll dump it into another jar, and I mean, not another jar, into a big bowl, and then cut it with my scissors so that it doesn't splash my face. Okay, here they are. Okay, I'm looking for my lids. So there we have it. Salads in a jar, fast food in the refrigerator. Yes, I've been talking for about 30 minutes, but when you're not talking and doing, this could take you, I do 5 of them, less than 30 minutes to get all of your lunches done for the week. There you have it, salads in a jar. Okay, who's gonna make salads in a jar? Who is going to make salads in a jar? Let me see it, let me see, hands up, who is going to be making salads in a jar? Actually, I can't really see hands up, but just, yeah, me, put me in the chat or whatever it is. Salads in a jar. Isn't that fun? You know, I have another tip about knife skills. I have 2 cutting boards right here. Sometimes I'm doing so many recipes, it's easy for me to just lift one up and put it in the sink and use the other one. The plastic cutting boards are a lot harder on your knives. The wooden cutting boards are a lot nicer, a lot more forgiveness in the wooden cutting boards. Okay, so that's something else about knife skills. All right, soup's in a jar. You ready? So by doing it this way, how many days do you think that you can leave in the fridge? Oh, 5. 5. The lettuce cannot get soggy because well, it can if you leave it in there for too long, but no, the lid is sealed, and 5 days. It'll go 5 days, no problem. I do it all the time, no problem. Okay. All right, next, soup's in a jar. You ready? Soup's in a jar. Let me move some things that I don't need. And yes, you're going to get all of your jars. I do little small jars. Oh, here's my soup jars. Okay. Yes, I have a collection of jars. There's no doubt about that. Okay. When it comes to salads in a jar, the very first thing I want you to do is to think about the base. I remember eating oodles of noodles growing up. And when I see what the ingredients are on those flavor packets for oodles of noodles, it's full of MSG. I am shocked that I have half a brain. I am shocked that I have half a brain. I really, truly am. So I'm going to make 3 salads in a jar for today. Okay. And you think bouillon, right? You want to put the base as a bouillon, but remember what I was saying about MSG? Bouillon, most of it is MSG. I have a friend who just found a dog who's emaciated, and she says, Tina, what should I feed her? And I said, well, bone broth, absolutely bone broth. And I'll talk about bone broth in a second. And she goes, oh yeah, I made some rice and I put some bouillon in it. And I says, okay, what kind of bouillon did you use? Oh, she know the one that we got from Giant. And I said, and she says, she's not eating it though. And I said, well, I know why, because she understands that it's not good for her. Most bouillons have MSG in it, and 2 tablespoons can kill an average sized dog. Can you imagine what it's doing to us? Okay. Might not kill us right away, but it could kill us over time. So instead of getting bouillon, you can just check your bouillon. If it's organic, it doesn't have MSG in it. Okay. Otherwise, there's a couple of different bases that I'll talk to you about. One is called Better Than Bouillon. It comes in vegetable, chicken, beef. Doesn't have any MSG. It's liquid. I'll show that to you in a moment. You can also do bone broth. Now, for these salads in a jar, you don't want to do liquid, okay? You don't want to do liquid broths. You want to do the flavor bases like I'm showing you. This bone broth that I get from Jarrow Foods is a powder, okay? It's a powdered bone broth that you mix with water. So I could put a scoop of the powder in there, or I could do some miso soup. Who here knows miso? You know miso soup. It's made with soybeans, right? The truth is, miso is a means of preparation. It's salted, fermented beans. This particular miso are chickpeas. I adore chickpeas, but my stomach can't handle chickpeas. I have a really hard time digesting them unless they're fermented and organic. Chickpea miso. Holy cow, my favorite, favorite, favorite. So what I'm going to do as my base, I'm going to do one with the chickpea miso, which is my fave. We're going to do, let me put the lids back on these. We're going to do one with the Better Than Bouillon. Just a teaspoon, that's all it needs. And we're going to do one with the bone broth protein powder. Okay. It's not protein powder, it's bone broth powder. Now, why do you think bone broth is really good for you? Does anybody know why bone broth is really good for you? Does anybody have a clue? Anybody? Anybody? All right. Bone broth is really good for you, especially when you're 45 plus, because it's very good for your skin, connective tissue, it's collagen. And it's also good for our gut. Very, very, very good and healing to our stomachs. Okay. Where do you get the powdered bone broth? I got this one online, and let's do a close up, Caitlin. Jarrow Formulas is the name brand of this one, but I have seen other brands. I think Dr. Axe, if you go to Dr. Axe Ancient Nutrition, he has a bone broth powder as well. Okay. So now we want some add-ins. We want some add-ins for the base, okay? One of the things that I use is tamari. I do not use soy sauce because soy has got wheat in it, and many people have wheat allergies, including me. So we don't want that. So I'm going to do some tamari sauce in all of them. I'll do tamari sauce and just a teaspoon. I just want a little bit of a flavor, okay? Just a little bit of flavor. If you like hot sauce, you can put some hot sauce in here now. If you like sesame oil, you want it to be a little more on the Asian side, just put like a half a teaspoon of, this is toasted sesame oil. I love toasted sesame oil. It has a pow of a flavor. At this point, you can put some crushed garlic in there too, but I'm not for now. Because I want to make sure that I get through this and get to the parfait as well. Okay. Next, I'm going to put some frozen vegetables. I'm going to choose peas. I like frozen peas in my soups. But if you don't like frozen peas and you want something else, use whatever you like. Remember, be inspired to use whatever it is that you want. So we're going to do, what is that? Oh, it's a big lump. Like a half a cup of some frozen peas. You can do frozen corn. And what about frozen riced cauliflower? What about pieces of broccoli, like somebody else was saying for their salad, a little bit of broccoli? What else would you want in your soup? Not peas. What else would you want in your soup? Whole Foods may sell powder. Oh, yeah, they probably do. They probably do. I just don't know. These are just the ones that I know and that I'm familiar with. Okay, so put a half a cup, whatever your heart desires of some frozen vegetables. Next, I'm going to put in some mushrooms. because I like mushrooms, and I'm just going to chop them up. Again, I'm just going to chop them up roughly. I'm not going to be exact on how I do it because, like I said, yes, I am lazy, but I don't have time for that. I'm hungry. I don't have time to make everything just perfect. But because this is an instant soup, at the end, we're just going to pour hot boiling water in it and let it sit for 2 to 3 minutes, and then it'll cook, and then you eat it. You want it spoon size because there's no real cutting it because you're going to eat right out of the jar. Talking about jars, if you get peanut butter jars that have that rubber gasket in them, save them, wash them and save them and use that because that's a seal. Use that for your soups in a jar. Use that for your parfaits. Use that. Use them. Okay, that's enough mushrooms for now. So I'm going to put a little bit of mushrooms in each of them. A little bit of mushrooms. Okay. And just think, what do you want in your soup? You know, do you want scallions? You don't want to put carrots because they won't cook in 2 to 3 minutes, but maybe some zucchini, but I'm going to use that zucchini. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that zucchini in just a minute. Okay, now I'm going to put the protein, and the protein that I want to use, oh shoot, no wonder I was going to use the eggs for the soup and I used them for the salads instead, but whatever, it doesn't matter. You don't have to have protein in your soup. You could have eggs on the side and just have a soup that doesn't have protein. But if you want, you can get an egg and chop it up and put it in there. Just one of my soups is going to have eggs. And the other soups, we're just going to be vegetarian soups, and that's okay. That's okay. There you go. What you could do, because you're pouring boiling water in them, right before you put the boiling water, crack a raw egg into it and pour the boiling water and shake it out. The boiling water will cook up the egg. So you can do that if you wanted to. Okay. All right. I love eggs in soup. Who likes eggs in soup? Put eggs in soup, or put eggs in the chat. If you like eggs in your soup, put eggs in the chat. Next, the next layer are going to be the noodle layer. I have one person who likes eggs in soup. I love eggs in soup. So the noodle layer, we want to put noodles in that can cook really fast. Okay, cook really fast. And because we're just going to pour boiling water, put the lid on and let it sit for a few minutes. So you want really thin noodles. Yeah, good. Thank you. Don't like eggs. Sorry, it's okay. It's all good. It's all right. So rice noodles you can get them really thin. One's called faux rice noodles. The other ones are called My Fun noodles. And again, you want noodles that are thin and that will cook in very little time, that will cook in very, very little time. Okay, so I'm going to put in a couple of my jars, or one of the jars, some My Fun noodles. I know, doesn't that sound fun? My Fun, told you we were going to have fun today. So look how thin these noodles are. Look how thin they are. Let's do a close-up on these, Caitlin. And you see how thin they are? Really thin. And so we're going to grab a bunch and put them in the jar. Just kind of shove them in there. There you go. I'll do 2 jars with some My Fun. Shove them in. All right. Now, sometimes I don't want a lot of carbohydrates at lunch. I mean, these aren't a ton of carbohydrates, but it's enough that maybe I'm not going to be exercising that day and I don't need all the extra carbohydrates from noodles, and I want more vegetables that day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have some zucchini noodles. Who here loves noodles? Zucchini noodles. Who here has done zoodles? Put zoodles in the chat if you have had zoodles. Okay, if you've had zoodles, put zoodles in the chat. Good. Yeah, I love zoodles. So I have this. This is the easiest zoodler in the world. I have one that sticks to the counter and you do your zoodles that way. It's a pain in the neck. I just grab this out of my drawer and now I have zoodles. Super quick, super fun. and it's not a big production. This goes right into the dishwasher. What I do want to warn you is that if you don't break the noodles by pulling it out, you'll have one like a 2-meter long noodle. So we don't want that. So just twist, 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 pull it out. Twist, 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 pull it out. It's called a veggetti. I love this. They sell it on Amazon. They sell it at Bed Bath & Beyond, I think. I don't know. They sell it in stores. Find it, buy it, especially if you like zoodles. It is fun. And remember, you need 10 to 12 cups of vegetables a day. How else are you going to do it? Eat zoodles. Eat zoodles. Okay, here we go. Those are all of my zoodles for the day. Okay. Put them right into my soup. Now, because these soups all have fresh vegetables in them, I'm going to store them in the refrigerator. And yes, same as the salads, 5 days. 5 days is good. Now, if I wanted to do a mixture of My Fun and zucchini noodles, we could do that too. My Fun and zucchini noodles, why not? This one had a little extra space at the top. It doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now, at the very top is where we're going to add herbs, or where we're going to add herbs, or maybe some scallions at the very top. That's where we're going to put those. I'm going to do 3 scallions and put some scallions at the top. Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to show you that I'll put at the top. Give me a second. Let me chop these through. Okay, put some scallions at the top. Make a little mess, whatever. Life is messy, wash your hands. It's all good. Shove it in there. These are delicious. I call my neighbors and I'm like, okay, I got extra food, come on over. They love them. I love them. I love these soups in a jar. So there's another thing I want to show you that are really great, either in the salads in a jar or your soups in a jar, are these super salad sprouts. They are so packed full of nutrition and protein. Which one of these didn't have protein? These two didn't have protein. So these are the two that I would want, and I'll put the sprouts in up at the very top. Sprouts, the ones that you put the sprouts in, you really should eat them within a couple of days of buying them. So don't let them sit for too long. These are mung beans, lentils, chickpeas that are all sprouted. You see in this one sprout, you get all of the nutrition that you would get in the entire, the big vegetable is all in that beginnings, in that tiny little sprout. So this is a powerhouse of nutrition for your body, a powerhouse. And if you have a hard time digesting beans like I do, you can digest them when they're sprouted, because they're sprouted. The enzymes are activated and so much easier to digest. Worth every penny. I can sprout my own sprouts too. I've been doing that, but sometimes I just want to buy them. There we have it. Soups in a jar. Let's get some lids on. And here we go. All right, hooray for soups in a jar. Who's excited that to make soups in a jar, put SIJ, soups in jar, in the chat. Soups in jar, put that in the chat box. So we get, all right, you guys are excited about it. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, we had our salads in a jar. We've got our soups in a jar. Next, we're going to make parfaits. Guess what? In a jar. Yep, everything is in a jar. Why? Because it's fast food, right? And that's what we want. We want fast food in our refrigerators. So once again, we're going to start with our tray of jars, right? No, I'm not kidding. No, I'm not kidding. Everything's in a jar. It's so easy. Remember, fast food in the refrigerator. When it comes to parfait, I thought I had a spoon out here. I guess not. When it comes to a parfait, we can do cottage cheese. You can do Greek yogurt. You can do regular yogurt mixed with some really good protein powder. Just start with some kind of yummy base that you like. Now, Greek yogurt is the theme of the day now, isn't it? Because we use Greek yogurt in the salads in a jar, and we're going to use the Greek yogurt in our parfait. Here we go. And what we're going to do is layer the yogurt with some nuts and some fruit, okay? You know, it just occurred to me, I have onion flavor on my hands, and I don't want to touch fruit with onion flavor. Let me wash them real quick. Okay, so next I'm going, so there you go, you've got, you want this to look fun. You want this to be fun and exciting. Like, yay, I really can't wait to eat my parfait. So maybe we're going to put a little bit of cinnamon in there. You can do frozen fruit. You can do fresh fruit. I have these wonderful blueberries that they're just easy to pour. You can do pineapple, mango. What's your favorite fruit? What fruit would you put in your parfait? Go ahead and put that in the chat. What is your fruit that you would put in your parfait? Put it in the chat. Let me see it. What kind of fruit? Blueberries or raspberries? Yeah, good. Strawberries. Yeah, you could do fresh. Oh, look, kiwis. I love kiwis. I love kiwis, but I'm like, you know, I have the frozen blueberries. Let me do those. I'm going to put a little bit of cinnamon in there. And next I'm going to put some kind of something that's protein-ish and any kind of nuts, chia seeds, hemp seeds, walnuts, almonds. Now we're going to layer it with that. Today I'm going to use hemp seeds. They are full of protein. They're full of protein. So we're going to get some hemp seeds. Every single meal that you eat should have 3 components: a protein, a fat, and a vegetable or a fruit. Okay, a vegetable or a fruit. Okay, so there we have it. About a teaspoon in each of those. And now I'm going to put a little bit more of the yogurt on top. A little bit more yogurt. I'll clean up the tops of the jars when I'm done so they look nice and pretty. Look at that. We used the whole jar today of our Greek yogurt. So see, now we have fast food. I'm telling you the importance of fast food. It's incredible. You don't have to think what's for dinner, what's for lunch, what's for snack. You look in the fridge and there it is. It's already made. You grab and you go. Whether you go outside to your patio, you go to your living room, you go to your office, wherever you're going, there you have it. So next we're going to do a little bit more fruit. Every meal needs to have what? I just said it. It needs to have a protein, a fat, and a vegetable or a fruit, okay? Mostly vegetables. There we go. Put some more blueberries on the top there. And as soon as you put this in the fridge, they'll defrost. The blueberries will defrost, so don't worry about the fact that they're frozen, okay? We're going to put a little bit more cinnamon on the top there. If you don't like cinnamon, don't use it. Whatever you like, whatever spices you like, put it in there. We can do more hemp seeds. We can do, what about walnuts? I've got some beautiful walnuts. I'm not going to put the walnuts in the middle. I want them to stay crunchy, so I'm going to put them at the very top. Walnuts at the very top. The walnuts are your fat. The hemp seeds are your fat. A little bit of fat in the Greek yogurt. You've got your protein from the Greek yogurt, protein from the nuts, and you've got your fruit from the blueberries or kiwis or whatever else it is that, whatever fruit that you want to put in here. And if you want to be a little particular about it, you can clean up the sides of the glass so it looks a little prettier, because I got a little messy. But you know, life is messy. Wash your hands. It's all good. Life is messy. And it's all good. It's all going to go in your stomach anyway. Isn't that what they say? All right. So there we have it. Parfait in a jar. No, I'm not kidding on that. All right. Sunflower seeds. Yes. Change. You want watermelon with your parfait. Okay. You need the sign in your kitchen. Life is messy. Wash your hands. You know, Caitlin, make a note of that. I need to make a sign. I got to talk to Marteel about that. Make a sign. Life is messy. Wash your hands. Marteel will do that for me. I got to find some other lids for these. I'll find them in just a moment. You have been just such a fun audience. And I have a special gift for you. Caitlin's going to put the link in the chat box. And that is my free ebook. It's called The Joyful Gut Reboot Guide. And it's all the simple basics of how to have a healthy life, how to have a healthy gut. And you get to be a part of my wonderful tribe as well. So go ahead, put that in the chat. Thank you so much, Caitlin. And at this point, I want to ask, what have you found most valuable about our time today, about our time together today? Like, what is that one or two things that you found you're like, yes, I'm going to do that. Yes, I've got that. That is just so fun. And I need to have more fun in my life, more fun in my kitchen. What is those things? What are those things that you found most valuable? Soups in a jar, healthy ranch. Okay, more nuts, knife safety. Very good. Very, very good. I love it. Yeah, anything that you have found most valuable about our time together today. You're like, yes, that was worth my time to learn some nice skills. Wash your hands more. Okay. The whole jar concept. Yes. Yes, everything. I have a lot of jars. I have a lot of jars, if you can tell, but it works for fast food. It's great. Make ahead ideas. Hemp seeds. Yeah. Not to use metal tops. Yeah, I'm glad that you got that. The soup's in a jar. You have to try it. Good. Good. You want to try the noodles, the healthier noodles. Yeah, the My Fun. They're rice noodles, basically. They're rice noodles, and they're much, much, much healthier than anything that you can find in those packages, especially with those flavor packets that are bad for your brain. Yeah. So, you've been such a fun audience. I loved teaching you today. And I hope that you are now going to get back into that kitchen or get into that kitchen and find more love, find more joy, and yeah, just have a really good time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Caitlin, go ahead and put that link in the chat one more time for us. But, thank you for being here. I'll be with you again in a couple of months. Danielle has the date for our next webinar that we're going to be together. I call them living webinars because, I love interaction, and that's going to be so much fun. Yes, so get back into the kitchen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. From the top to the bottom to the middle, my whole heart. Thank you, and until next time, namaste. Bye for now, everyone. Have a great day, great rest of the summer. Bye for now.